So this part is focused on how is your reader going to feel? This might seem strange to you if you're helping your readers with an art book or a storybook or something like that. But even if you're not working with people on emotions or thoughts or anything like that, a storybook or an art book makes people feel good. I mean, really, your ultimate goal is to help people feel good, because when they feel good, they vibrate on a higher frequency, and that adds to raising the frequency of the world. You know, you may not go there with me on that one, but that's what I've seen. You know, a happy person walks into a room, everybody perks up. So focus on how they feel. Maybe they say to you, I feel lonely or sad, or life isn't worth it. I don't have any connections. You know, I remember my grandmother saying, all my friends are dead, or they're sick, or they're dying. And she was depressed a lot because of that. And she had no connections, and she didn't see why she should go on. My father was really worried about her a lot because of that. So if you're writing a book on how to not be depressed or how to get over being depressed, focus on how they feel and the things that they say. And make a list of how they feel right now. You know, even if you're creating an art book, how do the people who are going to be looking at your art book feeling right now? Are they feeling uninspired? Are they feeling disconnected from the world? Are they looking at your art book to get ideas? How are they feeling right now? Make a list about how they're feeling. This is important later on. You'll see why. And then you're going to you're going to want to make a list of how you're going to help them. How can you help them for real? You know, this is not just airy fairy la la, but how can you help them for real? You know, what are helpful tools and techniques and tips? What are some exercises or meditations that you can give them? What are some visualization techniques? What are some case stories and studies, parables, quotes, anecdotes? You know, all of those things are really critical for some people. I remember when I first learned EFT, I loved reading anecdotes because it made me feel like I was part of what was happening, and it could happen for me too. That's what people are looking for. They want to look at how they can do whatever it is that's being done in the book. And also, they're going to want to know, well, where did you get that? How did you find that? How did you do that? So you want to list resources and services, websites, and links to them so that they can find things on their own. And if you're only writing a Kindle book, you can put links, audios, and videos right in your book. You know, you can have links right to the resources and services that you're recommending in your book. It's really awesome. You can be creating journals and magazines, memberships. You can be creating papers and books and reports, action plans. You know, step-by-step programs are really popular. You want to create one of those if you've got people who've got a problem or want to learn something new. You want to give them tools and tips and tactics and strategies. This is real for real helpful stuff. So make a list of all the things that you can help your specific reader. You know, don't just write down all the things that you know how to do. You might want to do that anyway, just to have it as a separate list. But for right now, you want to make a list of how you're going to help your specific reader for this specific book that you're writing right now. Then I want you to think about how those people are going to feel once you have helped them. You know, for instance, if you've helped somebody learn how to write a book, they're going to feel excited. They're going to feel like, wow, this is something I can do, and I can be an author too, and I can share my information with the world. Or maybe you've shown them how to do a specific kind of meditation that'll help them feel less anxious. Can you imagine what that would do for their day? My goodness, you know, having less anxious people in the world will change everything, and change it for them and everybody around them. The same thing with people who have a migraine or who have depression. It's awesome. So stop the recording right now and start a list of how those people will specifically feel once you have helped them. You know, yesterday I did a session with somebody. At the end, she said, well, I feel expanded, I feel free, I feel excited, I feel empowered. That's how you want your reader to feel once you have helped them with your book. And here's a list in case you can't think of how your reader is going to feel. Inspired, excited, informed, expanded. They have more knowledge. They're able to function better. They feel satisfied and fulfilled, reconnected to life, maybe excited about being able to exercise again, maybe excited about being able to eat a certain kind of food again, or follow a food program that helps them deal with their food allergies or tolerances. You know, write down these things because you're going to need these later on, and I'll show you in a minute. So what else are these lists going to do for you? Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to write your back cover. I know, really? Now? These steps that I've been taking you through help you get your back cover content ready for when you publish, and I'll show you how. First, I want you to list some titles. You know, make a list of possible titles for your front cover. That title can change at any time, right up until the time you click publish. So make a list of words that relate to your subject matter. And then make a list of the results that you get for people. Just like you've made your list so far, go back to those lists and use those words. Work the words. Keep playing with your list the whole time you write your book, okay? Because it can really change. You know, when I first wrote my first EFT book, my first title was Learn EFT. Well, what a boring title, because it didn't show anybody what learning EFT was going to do for them. Eventually, I named it Change Your Mind with EFT, and that makes better sales. So the next thing is your subtitle. Your subtitle tells your reader how it's going to happen. For instance, your title might be, for instance, Change Your Mind with EFT. And the subtitle might be, Learning this system helps you get free from emotional turmoil and live a more fulfilled life. That could be a subtitle for that. So the title, the purpose of the title is to catch somebody's eye. You know, they're walking through the bookstore and they see that title and they go, oh, that looks interesting. And then they zero down on the subtitle and it says how you're going to do this for them or what they're going to get out of it. And they go, oh, that's really cool. And then the next thing they do, guess what? They're going to flip to the back cover. So starting your back cover, your front title's cover, your front cover's title hooks people in, your subtitle tells readers what they get inside your book, and it compels them to turn your book over to read the back cover. And here is a few examples. You can read them yourself. I won't read them to you because I think that's boring, but you can see how in bold, you can see how the title catch your eye. You know, Change Your Mind, Change Your Body, how to have permanent weight loss success. Somebody who is overweight and looking for a way to lose weight, they would like that. Words can change your brain. Now, this is something that a therapist might want, or an energy practitioner, or a hypnotherapist, or somebody who works with kids with language. You can see how those titles will hook you in, and then the subtitle tells you what's going to happen next. So make your list of possible subtitles. Stop the recording and list as many as you can think of. You know, the way to do that is to think of how you're going to do this. How am I going to help somebody learn something? I'm going to show them this, this, and this, and this. And then you ask yourself, what are the benefits of that? What are the benefits of this person being able to do those things? Write all those things down. Once you have these things written out, you're going to see how all of this ties together. So your titles and your subtitles are flexible all the way up to publishing day. You know, don't think that your title has to be set in concrete for the whole time you're writing your book. It can change every single day, several times a day. So why write the back cover now? Because it's going to help you focus on what you're doing. So far, you've got who's your reader, what your reader's problems or desires are, how they feel, how you're going to solve the problems or desires, what happens then, and how they're going to feel then, right? You've got all those things taken care of. You haven't skipped over anything. You've made your lists, right? So when you publish your book, you have to write an Amazon description. And I'm specifically teaching you how to publish on Amazon in this course, not on other book sites. So this is something that you're going to need to learn how to write. And this is critical so that people can go to your book page and say, oh, this book is about such and such, and read that. And that is your Amazon book sales page. You know, that book that page that you see with the little image of the cover on there, and the title and the subtitle, the author name, and underneath that the description. That's a sales page. So we're going to talk about alternative titles and subtitles, because surprise, surprise, you are not going to use the same title on the back that you're going to use on the front. Why would you want to do that? Here's another chance to attract and pull in more people with a different title. You know, maybe somebody was kind of iffy about your main title, but they turn the book over and they see that the second title, and they go, oh, this is the book for me. Because you want to excite them, you want to inspire them and make them ask themselves, what am I going to get out of this book? And how? And what will that be like for me? You want to make them ask that to themselves. So again, if you haven't already, write down ideas for alternative titles. You know, you might have started writing it down when I mentioned it. You know, I like those lists, right? So stop the recording right now and write out some ideas for alternative titles. And then come back to this recording after you've written out those ideas. So here's an example. My book was called The Three Worst Mistakes Authors Make. When they turn the book over in the bookstore, when they turn the book over in the bookstore, they're going to see this title on the back, Get Your Book Done. And what do you get out of this book? You see, I may be curious about the 3 mistakes that authors make, but I'm not quite sure that I want to read this book. But if I turn it over and see Get Your Book Done, and my book is half done or it's already started, but I don't know where to go yet, this back title will encourage me to get my book done. And then underneath that, the alternative subtitle, what do you get out of this book? Oh, well, this is curious, and it makes me want to read that first paragraph there. Every single thing that you write down in your book is a pull to the next thing that you want to write. Your title pulls people to the subtitle. Your subtitle pulls people to the back cover. The back cover pulls people to buy it. Your first chapter pulls people to read the second chapter, and so on. It's all a pull the whole way through, okay? So on your back cover is going to be a paragraph, and we'll go into that in the next recording.